Here it runs a little bit slower.
Okay. There we go.
Say turn it down a little bit.
Yes, definitely.
There you go.
All right. We're going to get
So
us
what's
started.
happening? What's happening? What's happening out there?
You might want to hit your volume some more.
I sure will.
Good evening, everyone. How are we doing this week? Episode 14?
1-4.
Episode 14.
How's my volume?
It's good.
So yeah, episode number 14, Chocolate Crowns, Kings and Queens. We appreciate everybody checking in. You know, everybody who's been continuing to support us. We definitely appreciate you guys, and the ones who are just tuning in for the first time, man. Hopefully, you know, we entertain you, educate you, answer some questions,
Right.
you know, create a dialogue. So that's what this platform is for. So what's happening?
Our kings and queens, what's going on this Sunday evening? How you doing, King Delrico?
I'm good, Queen. I'm good. No complaining over here. Especially
Oh, goodness.
since the Pittsburgh Steelers beat the Philadelphia Eagles today. Yeah. Especially because of that. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to my brother Vincent McDuffie out there.
Starting trouble already in the show. Starting trouble already with the Philadelphia versus the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Nah, but yeah, it was a good game. And shout out to my Steelers. You know, good job. But yeah, keep it up. It's not the sports platform. I shout them out. You know what I'm saying? Just cause. And then we move on.
And then we move on. Okay, so what's our current event conversation? What's up, Swanee G? What's our current event for the week?
The crazy thing is I've had a kind of a busy week, and I haven't really. I mean, I don't tune into, I guess, social things that much anyway, just to pop in and out, to have something to talk about sometimes on the show and to test the, you know, the pulse of society, that kind of thing. So I haven't really done a lot of that. I did, as always, I check in with the comedian of the year. I mean, it's sad that people's lives are on the line, but to me, Donald Trump, he's a comedian. But it's sad people's life is on the line, and but see, this is where people have a distrust for this government. I mean, you got a man who stood up there for 8 months and tell you it's phony, it's fake, it's not real, it's this, that, and the third, and then they test him and he got corona along with 400 other people. So it's like, who do you believe?
Right.
Because putting your trust in man is always a bad thing, man. And we could say, you know, go to religious angle and have faith in God and all that. But in the physical form, there are a lot of devils and demons out here, and we're going to go cast a vote for one of them. It's going to be your choice. And like some of our people out here who will say Joe Biden is the lesser of two evils. I don't know. I think you could ask a bunch of men from the 90s if that's the case. You know what I'm saying? I know we see what we see now with Donald Trump and the craziness that he's up to, but the other guy ain't no better.
But I think the question really is do we want to still live in a life of sacrifice, or if we want to hope that we would get a different opportunity of life with the other opponent? So it's like, do we want more of the same or worse from the same regimen that we have, or do we want to consider another way of doing business? So if we look at the conversation from that perspective, it gives us a broader reach and more opportunistic way to decrease some of the stress.
Yeah, I understand you 100%.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is that we're in a system that keeps giving us the same thing, and now because there's enough of them who like us, they've given us two people who look like us now. And we keep falling for the bait and switch, the simple stuff. Some of these people, just because they look like you, they don't have any of your best intentions at heart, in mind, none of that.
Well, that's the basis of politics. So, we just have to still go with the option that is going to give us opportunity to getting closer. If it's setting up our own structure, if it's having like options to have a voice, it's deciding from that versus deciding from the scripts that they dive into us and pour into us that they are like choking us with in these next few weeks.
I'm just for our people who put in a lot of work over these how many ever hundreds of years.
Right.
I mean, even with the last 75 years, all the people who have struggled and fought and sacrificed, died, got killed, raped, beat, all of this stuff, and we still on this same cycle.
True.
Still.
But we've been brainwashed to not do something totally different. We don't trust the strength and integrity that we have to build our infrastructure. And in the way that life has been in the last 4 years, we don't get those type of permissions that we would be able to kind of bridge the gap with the other option.
I mean, me as a man, I just think if somebody came in your house and bust you upside your head and set up shop in your house, how do you think you're going to get your house back?
The house is on fire?
The house ain't even on fire yet. These people came in your house, bust you in your head, threw you out the window, you in the yard. How you think you're going to get your house back? What, you going to vote? You going to knock on the door? Can I please have my house back? That's not how they took your house. They came in your house. They slapped you in the face, put a gun in your mouth. They raped your grandmother, your grandfather. They beat him up, put him on the track. Like, I'm trying to give you a visual of this because for some reason we're numb to this.
I was Swanee G, busted back.
Yeah, but that's not what we doing. We're going to vote.
But what's our other option? If we don't vote, then we're gonna get more of the same.
Hold on. 5 seconds ago, you just said I'm with Swanee G. Busting back.
Busting back the door, yes. If you coming into my house, you come into my house. So now I need to bust it back and make sure that you can't come into my house again. So then that means choosing the option and the opportunity that's going to make it where you can't just walk into my house and just take my integrity away. I mean, me as a woman, I don't have a voice. Whereas we are the strength and everything foundation for families, we don't have a voice that is respected in this country. So it almost doesn't matter, but we are the ones who will go out and cast a vote that's going to make a decision going either way.
Yeah, we know that you okay. Let's take what you just said. Black woman has no voice. but runs to this system, every opportunity. You see how they hold on before you answer. You see how they about to use the black woman again for her vote? First, 8 years ago, 10 years, 12 years ago, how many other years ago, they put a slick talking light-skinned man in front of the women, and y'all all went out and voted.
Because
and listen, that was the start of the killing the black man on TV, the killing the black woman on the internet and on TV, while the blackface was in the office.
Actually, it started before he was in the office.
Where I'm going, huh?
It started before he got in the office. It just got louder once he was in there.
I know. But we thought that he would speak up for it. We thought voting for him was going to do something about that.
Right.
Voting does not change people knocking you in the head. You knock somebody else in the head.
It's a silent and loud protest.
It's who?
It is a silent and loud protest at the same time, without messing up the stores in our community, without, really busting somebody up beside their head. It is the way that we show what it is that our intentions are and what our desires would be respected if they allow it to be a legal process, that they're following protocol. I mean, there's so many gray areas that exist in our society now with technology that integrity really has to be rescripted in regards to how it is that we look at any decision that we interact with anyone on the outside of our culture and outside of our communities, because our communities are always used as testing grounds for medicine, for foods, for stores and products. Like, we're the testing grounds before they even consider placing it in the areas that are not redlined.
Listen, we don't have a community.
We don't, because we're always trying to assimilate to be like them.
Okay, you just said our community. We don't have a community. Every dollar we spend goes to somebody else. That's community.
That's the choice.
When your money goes in a circle in your community, it goes from one black hand to another black hand to another black hand to another. No, the first dollar you get, you go spend it with Chinese people.
That's a choice.
But those people, because of a system, those people shouldn't even have option. We shouldn't even have an option to eat their food in our community. Mm-hmm. It shouldn't even be an option. But the system allows for everybody else. System allows for everybody. We have no community because the system is written and fixed in a way where all we do is give up everything that we have. Black women been doing hair. Black men been fixing cars since cars was invented. Black women been doing hair, nails, fingers, all of this stuff. Now you got to go to a system and ask for permission to do hair. They got to tell you now you need a certificate. You got to have us stamp you to do your own hair, to eat your own food, to sell products that we probably invented.
More than likely.
It's the system. So the system hates us. You just said it in the very beginning. You don't have a voice. So we need to really look at it and stay like that. We do not have a voice. They don't have a voice. They don't like me. They put it in law. They didn't just say we don't like you and that's it. No, they wrote it in law. So every turn we make, there's obstacles and speed bumps in the way. Listen, when the devil shows its face, you got to scream at the devil. They have murdered us and taken everything that we have. There's an island, Manhattan Island, black folks used to own a long time ago.
Right.
And white folks took it away. And when they took it, it's estimated that it's worth billions of dollars now.
Right.
Billions. But yet that family, there's people in that family who are probably struggling, living paycheck to paycheck, might not have a job.
Right.
Those kind of things. It's a system, and we can't stop. Like we got to stop pretending and lying to ourselves that just voting was going to change something, because we've been voting for a long time. And if somebody really cared about you, they would change.
Right.
They would change. It's as simple as that. You in a relationship and you as a woman, you see something wrong and you say it, they change or they don't. They show you what it is. We've been at this for way too long for this to be the same cycle that we on. It's very sad.
Very, very true. So I want to give a shout out because she gave a shout out to us, to Queen Lean, Mama Joe. Thank you for joining us this evening. Give a shout out to Camp as well. She has her other comments in there.
Everybody saw value in the hood but us. You know how much property we could have probably had if drug dealers brought up the hood? As sad as it may seem, they had money.
Right.
And block by block brought up everything. But nope, we don't see the future. We don't see the trees through the forest. Camden is a perfect example. We don't see the trees through the forest, so they're going to just keep backing us out until there's nothing.
They do it in Chester as well.
Chester, this is a repetitive cycle around this country. They've done it to the indigenous people hundreds and hundreds of years ago. Remove you, change your culture, now you disappear.
Right.
100 years from now, they might have my face white. You might be a white boy 100 years from now.
You're going to turn from light skin to white?
Yeah, you're going to be a white woman.
Nah, my name is already white.
They're going to whitewash you if we don't start fighting back. You can say no.
Because it's not going to happen. Because it's not going to happen.
Whether it's you or your ideas, that's where I'm getting at. They're going to whitewash it. They're going to take it, mess it all up, and serve it back to you.
That was your paintbrush?
They're going to mess it back up, and we're going to take it like we do everything.
Right.
We are 100% submerged in their culture. Back in the day when we had a chance to stay segregated or integrated, we chose the wrong lane. Not that I don't got white folks that I don't have friends with I don't like.
Right.
But some of your ancestors couldn't stand me. You know what I'm saying? Couldn't stand me and couldn't stand my ancestors and melanated people because of the greatness in you.
Right.
Like you do everything to a person and they still somehow come through the concrete. The roads through the concrete, still somehow, some way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I know people going to vote. But we got to start being smarter about this, man. We got to start demanding better candidates, man. Because I know some sisters who would have been in the debate with Pence, an old white man, and would have slaughtered him. Sisters be killing brothers in arguments. So I know there's some sisters out there who would have diced him right up.
But one of the things about the woman's voice, a woman of color's voice, is that it's usually misread and misinterpreted. And we become very passionate around the things that are important to us. And that passion, whereas is met with other ethnicities as seen as great, for anybody who's melanated is seen as angry. So whenever we're in a position that we have to debate someone who doesn't look like us, we have to kind of be at ease and at pause because we don't want to be misread. We're already not counted in a sense. So it's like, do we want to add to that fuel in regards to how it is that they're going to now change whatever the content of the conversation is and go to the next thing? They mentioned Breonna Taylor and the conversation was to be about Breonna Taylor, and somehow we got to George Floyd, and George Floyd is a very important and pivotal situation in our community, but they never responded to the concerns related to Breonna, just like they never respond to Sandra Bland, just like they never respond to the 75 women in between those two women who lost their voices and lost their lives in this country. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's a whole larger situation in regards to the role and positioning of a Black woman. So they have to watch how they act and respond, because your life is at stake every time you open your mouth.
Okay, so a couple of things I'll address. One is we got to stop with the Black woman. No, we are in this together. So stop. You as a Black woman, you have to initiate the first conversation and say, we're going to stop separating us. Mm-hmm. Because you have a voice and a platform and a position of power. When you do that, listen, when you do that, that puts a divide. Like this screen is divided. It puts a divide between us. You don't have a voice. I don't have a voice. They didn't care about neither one of us. Mm-hmm. So therefore, I'm saying that to say this. Kamala Harris, that's her fault. She had every opportunity as a Black woman that y'all call her to take that issue and run with it. Right. And beat the point till you can't beat it no more. Right. But what happens is she's handpicked. She's a handpicked Negro that y'all at home keep following. She had every opportunity to argue a racist white man, mm-hmm. and be passionate and cry and scream and everything because the house is on fire. She ain't even answer the question. It's her fault. You and 50 million other Black women would have been screaming about what went on. Absolutely. About something has to be done. But they gave you a hand-picked, light-skinned woman who they knew was not going to stand on that. They knew that. This thing new. This thing is repetitive. And we keep playing this game. We keep playing this game because we're scared to die. That's what it's all about. If somebody came in your house and bust you upside your head, you said you would fight back. We ain't fighting back. We going to courts. We voting where they don't hold our vote in the same esteem as theirs. Mm-hmm. We're not written into law like that. And I keep saying we. That encompasses Black man and Black woman. Absolutely. Black man. We know that. Yeah, I know she an Asian woman, part Indian, and I'm talking about from the land, her people. Right. She don't come from, and if she do, she don't care about you. She is hand-picked. But so was Barack Obama. Oh, yes, we know that. Right. Hand-picked. Mr. X, I'm going to give y'all a book. Mr. X. Written in the early 1980s. Mr. X, go read it, go find it, go Google it. It's about your president, Barack Obama, before he was president. Go find it, go Google it, go research it. They handpicked. They're not going to pick one of y'all that will stand on something for your people. Mm-hmm. They're not going to do. They're not going to pick you. Mary, they're not going to pick you because at some point, the melanin, your consciousness, the love, your soul is saying something wrong. That's why all them people look soulless. I mean, and I've been told that in interviews on the reason why I'm not being picked, because I have a voice and I have a position that is not always in alignment with the get along gang. So when trying to be a W-2 classified employee, that became an issue because my values stand true. And when your values stand true, they begin to say, okay, well, no, we don't want you to come in and try to shift everything around for wellness. Like, God forbid people get well, we're not going to have a job. No, you're going to have a job. It's called education, which is, Yeah, this system always does that. They'll allow you to do what you do under their parameters. Right. Under their boundary. Inside of their boundary. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you step out of the boundary, then they threaten to kill you, which I received that as well. So it's like, okay, here we go. But if the devil show his face, you got to tell the devil I ain't scared to die. I'm here. Because if you tell me, if you told me all of us, me, Swanee, and all the other hundreds of millions of black folks stood up and said, we're not going to take this no more, and we either going to fight or we're going to completely remove away from the system changes.
It does.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we're gonna vote this coming election. We're gonna vote, and you're gonna vote for who you think is the best candidate for you and your family. And there's still gonna be racist cops out there killing black boys and black men and black women. There's still gonna be a system that got its foot on your neck.
Still like sexual assault, domestic violence, all of that.
Listen, we have to be very, very mindful and conscious who these people are, man. Check these people's background. Why would the person who killed and murdered your entire family give you somebody who is for you to change it for the better? Because this is what part of it is they think if we get what we supposed to get and you start treating us like human beings, like I'm a man, that it's going to change something for them. That's not the case.
Right.
You give me my dignity, you really integrate my people in this society, and it blossoms. It does things that you couldn't imagine. But like we always say, people put their limitations on you. America has put its limitations on all melanated people.
And we accept it to a certain degree.
And we accept it. We okay with it. We you know what I'm saying? We good with it. We good with just getting trinkets, going on that little vacation. When this was yours, every part of this land was yours and your cousins and your family members. And you have been completely whitewashed from it. And I was saying, 100 years from now, we will be whitewashed as kind of funny, but it's going to be our ideas and the things we created and the legacy we left that they're going to continue to suck off of and then give it to their people like it's one of theirs. Like They created it. Shout out to Ronnie C. Wright, because that's my brother who introduced me to Blacked Out Through Whitewash 15 years ago, something like that. And he was part of my awakening. So shout out to my brother Ronnie C. Wright. But we have to come together because you have great ideas as the black woman. You have great ideas. And we as men, we got to be protectors, warriors, and fighters. Like, it's no more of this voting's going to change nothing. The same thing they were doing to your parents and your grandparents, they doing to us now.
Right.
We've been voting. We've been in these long lines. It's sad. Yeah, take that deep breath.
I mean, because it's like at some point where the conversation is necessary, I'm hoping that it doesn't discourage people from whatever decision that they have made, that they just stay true to that decision.
Say that one more time.
I said, I just hope that, in having this conversation, that people just stay true to their decision.
Right. And Queen, is that Queen April?
It is.
And she asks, what's the plan for removing ourselves from the system? How do we do it? No one I know that preach about it has a plan except don't vote, which I don't agree with, but to each his own or her own. So part of your freedom to vote is not to vote as well. You know what I'm saying? That's your right. Your right is to do what you want to do with your vote. If you want to take your vote and throw it in the river, that's what you can do.
But that's a vote for the opposition that you don't want to continue.
I don't know. I don't have an opposition. I'm against the system. I'm against both of them. Y'all want me to play a part in the system? Yes. And like Queen, she's asking, I don't have all the answers. I want to sit down with my people. I don't want to write down this is what I'm going to do. No. I need to have a round table with Queen April, and she has her ideas. Queen Mary, Queen Evelyn, with King Calvin, King Ronnie C. Wright, King Fletch, and we build this ourselves without the enemy knowing it. Like, it's always a solution.
Right.
We gotta take the time out to plot and plan. These people are planning your demise for years and years down the road, man. This is not checkers. This is a very difficult game that they're playing and manipulating things and doing it like that. And they have been doing it. So when do we quit the insanity and jump off of it? I don't care how we
like it's been shared, living off the grid or developing our Black Wall Street and being committed to protecting it in a better way in which our ancestors did.
Listen, they, like I said a few shows ago, they coming up with a new Black Wall Street down in Georgia. So everybody needs to Google that and find out how can they help. And yes, like you said, we need to do better protection of this. The enemy we playing against, they are evil. Everything they giving you, they gave you the Bible. They gave you the Bible with the gun. So they brought religion with weapons. So when we go to build what we hold high in high regard, you got to protect it as well. You got to have some soldiers. You got to have men willing to protect the men, the women, and the children where we're doing this. And if we have to fight, you got to fight. That's the point. That's the point that everybody's scared of. If you got to fight and some of us have to die for this system to be completely overhauled, that's what has to happen. Because
Queen Camp is saying to come off the grid, but the grid is through every device that we plug into electronics. So they've made it such that we're comfortable with being connected in some particular way. So in us being connected in that particular way, like there is no way for us to not be tracked, be it through our TV, through our internet, through our cell phones, through probably some people's cars are even tracked. So it's like every device in which you interact with, plus there's cameras on multiple corners throughout your community or the places that you live. So it's like we're tracked no matter what. When you make a purchase, you're tracked. No matter if you switch up your cards, every single thing we do has a device number that tells the grid. If you think about that, what was that movie, Born Identity, where you had the book and it showed the different maps that you were supposed to go on? That's basically how we're living. And we just don't have that black book that they have to go in and out those different doors. Well, we might have it and we don't recognize it. Every single conversation, if we say the wrong words after we come off live, it won't be available live anymore. Or you'll be able to see us moving, but our mouths will be muted. So it's like everybody is constantly being tracked in every engagement, every action, every breath that they take.
Listen, we can't. And from a woman's perspective, it just seems a lot of women are fearful. They've leaned on this system for so long that you don't even know that you wasn't never on this system. Off the grid is where you come from. Off the grid, that means nature. Everything you talked about is science, scientific stuff from a man.
Right.
To try to battle with nature. That's what this is all about. They want to play God. So we caught up in this where it's computers and phone. Listen, Fletch, and I know many hundreds of other men who aren't afraid to get off of this thing and fight. Being on this grid, going to get their spoiled meats and foods and and to get on Facebook, like, no, getting off of this stuff. And I could tell you, and you probably know this for 100% for fact, when you detach from Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and don't go on for a day or two, it's refreshing. Because
it's self-care.
You ain't on that speedway, that speed highway. Like, we're about to burn this whole planet to the ground. That's what's going. There's so much people could talk to their refrigerator, like pointless stuff. very.
You can tell. I mean, Alexa knows where all the bodies is at because Alexa is listening to everything, and then you give her a directive, and then you get mad because she might turn everything off. So, like, if you have an Alexa,
they're probably gonna block this out, but they give it to you real nice. They name it Alexa and Bixby and Google, whatever.
And Siri.
It's government. That's who it is. Right. That's who it is. You got to call it for what it is. If we don't call a spade, if we call a spade a heart, no, that's not what it is. It's the government. They are in your home. You don't have to do the back in the day when everybody was on there's going to be a tracking device and they're going to put a chip in your arm. No, you carry your phone everywhere you go.
You got, and whether you turn the GPS on or off, it's still on.
You got your laptop on. Your smart TVs is watching you. Like, so how much of it are you going to take before it say, this is too much? This is too much. This is way out of hand. They're doing the same thing to us that they did to the indigenous people in this land. The same thing. And we going to vote. You know what your ancestors, not the ones who fought to vote, the ones 50, 100 years before that, you know what they would be saying to us right now? They the enemy. Don't vote. That's what they would say. That's what they would say because they got cracked in the head, raped, molested, everything. Names changed, all kind of stuff. And we still want to play in this system. We still want to play this game. Every facet, every form. Listen, they're against that. Even white folks now is complaining about the system. You know what I'm saying? They went in with they foiled the plot, the kidnapped the state senator in Michigan or whatever it is.
Right.
Like even white folks is mad. Oh, that's your brother?
It is my brother. With the long dissertation.
Yeah. I know he would write a book. He would. Yeah, but listen, everybody says change happens locally. Yes, yep. It can happen on a small portion locally, yep.
But that should be where our focus is, even when we're going to the polls to vote, because not to say not to focus on the larger leadership, but who has our voice more is the people who are locally, the people we can actually go to their office and sit in their lobbies and create some kind of discussion, or they'll see us making noise wherever it is that we're planning the event to make noise.
How many, listen, and I want Black people to tell us, Barack Obama being in office, how did it help you and your family? Like, I really want to know, what did it do for you? Like, it's a symbol for young people to say, we can do whatever we want in America.
Right.
And then when people say, like your brother said, we need to get more people into their system. See, this is what it is. How many more people, how many more hundreds and thousands of people got to run for office? And the system ain't changing.
But did y'all hear the question? If we talking about how many more people have to run, did we hear the question on how they stack the Senate and how they stack the different houses with people who don't represent our voice and our intentions? So it's like, if we're saying to get those people in, we're already behind the 8 ball, probably 3-4 generations, because we're not in there.
Listen, and Brother King Bill May is very intelligent. I would love to know what he thinks of what a Barack Obama in the White House did for this country. Because all I'd seen was, I seen him try to unite a bunch of people, whether I agree with a lot of his stuff or not. I seen him try to bring people together. So then now they bring in a person who's just going to be the complete opposite and try to divide everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Right.
Along those same lines, nothing changed for us. Even when he was trying to bring everybody together and he was being real passive. And that's not us. He being real passive. I mean, the brother, the Harvard professor was going back in his own house, got locked out of his own house, and went through it with the police up there. And Barack Obama says we need to have a beer. This black man is locked out of his own house and has to justify to a system why you outside of your house and why you got this big mansion. And what are you doing climbing in the window? You can't be locked out your house. This can't be your house. And Barack Obama, under his presidency, well, let's have a beer and let's talk about it. Are you kidding me?
So we don't know that if that was the invitation to his version or his thought of it being macaroni and cheese and fried chicken, that we can have a peaceful conversation to identify what the strategy is going to be to resolve. We could get distracted on the fact that it was, let me invite you to a beer. However, it could have been, can you come to my table so that we can have that round table conversation that you just referenced not too long ago? So
how many? Okay, I'm gonna answer that question. How many round tables have we had? How many sit downs? How many thousands of sit downs did we have with these people?
But if they're blocking everything that it is that he presented to the table, then he had to do the dance everybody else does. Like I said, when we were talking about cousin Cammie a few minutes ago, she can't present herself as the angry black woman and be extra passionate. If she is passionate around anything, we have to dance around what we think is going to be a comfortable.
No, queen.
Not that that's what we should do, but that's what we've been conditioned to believe, so that what we say is digestible.
Queen, listen. Are we making it easy for them? That's what we keep doing. We making it easy for them to digest how awful it's been for our ancestors and ourselves.
So, Delrico, you and I always talk about trinkets and people trying to maintain their trinkets. This conversation would go directly in alignment with how it is that we refer to people standing the lane of maintaining their trinkets, and whether it's deciding to learn the game of golf or learning the game of chess, like they have to make that decision based on how much they value those trinkets that they want to keep. If it's their lifestyle, if it's their income, if it's their contracts, like they have secondary gains based off of who is in office and what decisions they believe is going to be made based on that. So if I don't want to interrupt ability to put food on my table or to keep a roof over the head for my family, then yes, I'm going to change my narrative so that I can make sure that it's digestible. Which is a fear response, but it's also a sustainability response too.
Every person, listen, because we have the platform, I don't judge anybody, and I hope nobody judging me. Whatever you do, I love you for what you do. I don't care if you vote for Trump. I don't care. I don't care if you vote for Joe Biden. I don't care. I care about you and your young people. That's it. Right. I wish we made wiser decisions and see that the system was not set up for us. We could sugarcoat it. We could give it to it in any way that they can digest it, because that's what it seems like. The people who murdered us did all kind of torturous things to our ancestors. We worrying about how they feel? Are we kidding me? We really worrying about how? We show video of what they've done to our ancestors, and we really care about how they feel about how we speak to them, that I'm speaking with passion and I'm angry. Yes, she should have been angry. She had every right, and she should have snapped out. And Cousin Fletch would have been like, okay, that's the first time. I'm going to vote with her. It might have got me. But that, like you said, there was a very important part of it where it was talking about the young lady who was murdered, Breonna Taylor, and she had every opportunity. And you should have been pissed off.
I was.
I should have seen tears down her eyes. If you have a soul, how many of us have to get murdered, die by the hands of the system, and we not say it's the system's fault? They haven't given us enough stand-up men and women for us to say the system's going to change. People that we've had that went against the system, that's even spoke against the system, they got murdered. They got murdered. That's what happened. I didn't agree with everything Dr. King said, but I respected the work he did. I didn't agree with everything Malcolm said, but I respected the work. And you know what happened? One was passive like Barack. He was that lame, that Gandhi lame, that submissive was murdered. The other one was a revolutionary activist who stood up for the people and was fighting back at the system, and he was murdered.
Right.
So what is it? They're gonna murder us regardless. They're gonna kill us regardless. And it might be a slow, because this whole show was supposed to be about food. and it might be a slow death because you're eating their food. It might be a slow death because you drink in a culture and eat in a culture. It might be a slow death because you keep voting for a system that isn't going to change, but because you got a little better paying job, it's okay. But men and women being murdered in the street by the system, but you doing okay. I salute you. I salute
people,
you.
But people have sustained on that all the time.
Listen, I ain't mad at none of my people who maneuver through the system and find a way. I'm hyped for you. But don't act like that's normal. What you've done is abnormal. You are a special person. You're a special person. You found what you're good at. You found your niche. You maneuver through a system. But the reality is, if it was our system, you'd have been 1,000 times better. You'd have been 1,000 times better if it was ours.
And they sweeten the pot with sugar. So like they know that sugar is what's going to attract us. And so they always sweeten the pot with sugar. And what sugar looks like can have a whole bunch of different faces because it becomes the trinket. But they know that our body craves sweetened taste of different things. And that once we like that sweetened taste, we're going to continue to go through the drive-thrus, go to the grocery store, go and do whatever it is that we're going to do that's going to get that sweetened fix.
Oh yeah, we're good for that.
We good for that. We've been consistent in that over time and time again. And they label, I'm just going to slip this on in there. They label sugar under 52 different names. So it's like, if it's 52 different names of just how they identify sugar, think of the other number of ways that they are divisive and how they present every single option, idea, opportunity. Everything is sweetened to the pot because they know that that's what'll draw us to tasting whatever it is that they're trying to throw down our throat.
Yeah, they study us. They know us. That's why your president just came out and said he got the platinum plan. Because he know Negroes love platinum. He know in our culture, was the closest thing to our culture is music. And platinum is held in high regard. So his ignorant ass self came out with a plan and said the platinum plan. Yes, aspartame. Hey, can't tell him about that. It's one of the worst things you can ever ingest in your body. And they put it in the food. They put it in the food. Brother Bill, this is the system. The scientists against you, the politicians against you, the education system against you, the food industry against you. Can we got to go medical field against you? You under attack. And we talking about these silly, simple ass politicians. You under attack. And we talking about Joe Biden and Donald Trump. And your life is under attack. Look in the mirror. Are you healthy? You know you dying because you're under attack by the food you eating. And the system gave it to you. Cousin Fletch didn't give it to you. The black man didn't give it to you. Sisters, the black man didn't give it to you. Brothers, the sister didn't give you that food. We in this together. Yeah, your mama against you. I love it, Camp. I love it.
But
your
then it's like, okay,
know.
we don't educate ourselves. They're not educating us. And so therefore we just go with what is within reach. And I know that I shared a couple shows ago in regards to how even if the grocery store is set up in a strategic way, so is everything that we do in life. So it's like, if on the exterior are your 4 food groups, if it's at eye level, it's not the best option for you. You usually have to go up above, or you need to look below so that you can select the thing that is the better option. But we usually go for what's easy in every decision that we make.
Yeah, and it's easy. Listen, I'm gonna try to intertwine the system and talking a little bit about food because that's where we was.
And King Bill May said, "How do we get those systems changed?"
Bill May, we got to sit down, brother. Me, you, Camp, Queen April, everybody has to start writing down. They have to start writing down what this is going to look like, what you expect from our people, and then take steps. If that means that we got to get 400,000 people together and pick up and move to a different part of the land,
it looks like
what we got to do.
King Del Rico, are you frozen?
Yeah, of course they froze us talking shit.
I'm not frozen, you're frozen. Yes. You see what I'm saying? All I'm doing is trying to give my people some info, man. So he said on Instagram, he's like, all I'm trying to do is give people some info, and then they freezing them up. So that's what they do. We know. It ain't gonna stop me, Bill. Queen April, Camp, nah. You try to educate people, they want Kool-Aid. They still want the awful stuff. He's still going off. Okay, so please, can you please rejoin us? Can you please rejoin us? Yeah, I'm coming. So while he is trying to rejoin us and going through his rant, in regard, he has Essentia water that he's showing as a good water option. And like building the awareness and education, is the action that we could do collectively and collaboratively, but we have to also recognize, like, we each have a piece of the conversation and responsibility on making sure that people know what is going on. So it looks like we made it back.
Hey, they can't get rid of me, people. They trying. They trying. See, listen, this is how it goes. You start talking that shiggity, and they just straight remove your whole face, man. We only got a few viewers, man.
But they're consistent. They are engaged. No, I love our people. See? I only say a few viewers. I only see a few viewers, and they still got me up out of there. That's all right. I'm gonna be on Fox News soon. Oh my goodness, he said he's gonna be on Fox News soon. So, in bridging the gap between, you might have to come back out and come back in. In bridging the gap between like the system and how it is that they develop the different nutrients, like we have to make our choices wiser, like in regards to how it is that we begin to navigate the system. So it's like being sure that you know what is the best thing for your body and what is the best thing for the things that you entertain from. Do you fry your foods? Do you bake your foods? I'm getting a whole bunch of feedback, so that's why I slowed down. He said you better watch what you eat this week. Hopefully you cooking it all.
Now listen, man, and you 100% right. I mean, just to piggyback off of what you were saying. Listen, number one, part of this is eating what's right for you, what's supposed to be for you. Mm-hmm. I mean, we've always ate what tastes good, and like Camp said, you can blame it on your mama. And that's 100% true. They love us, but they don't know. They've been given the same system. This is what I'm saying. This is the repetitive system over and over and over and over. It's the same thing. And then back in the day, I see now you got food banks. They just give away food. Yeah, some people are starving.
Always.
Listen, some people are starving, so I know you ain't turning down no meal.
Right.
But that's part of the problem also. If it was ours, there wouldn't be no starving bodies. No, it's easy to feed everybody.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But we're in a culture, it's not for us. So when you are eating foods, number one, start with your essential water. Let me move it. It's 9.5
pH.
You get your alkaline in you, man, because we eat an acidic a very acidic diet, high in dairy, that kind of thing. And shout out to Dr. Sebi, because now most of us know that mucus causes disease.
Right.
And a lot of these foods that we do eat, they are mucus causers. Like I said, dairy is the main one, and all of us throughout time we've had dairy, and that's part of the.
You're frozen again.
When that dried up, you weren't supposed to drink no cow milk, or we get cow milk. We eating yogurt, we eating cheese.
So he's talking about yogurt and cheese.
We gotta remove that out the diet ASAP, people. If you remove the mucus from your body, you will be healthier immediately.
So soy milk, cousin, is actually not good for you because soy is a cancer-producing product. So soy and iodine are cancer-producing products. So soy is not a good product to put into your system. Iodine usually comes from seafood, that we think that seafood is a better option. Iodine is also not a good thing because it's a cancer-producing product. It also gives you too much estrogen that you're unable to create that balance as a woman, that creates unhealthy situations. So almond milk is a better option. I've heard that rice milk is a better option. Cashew milk.
All right, so let me piggyback off of you real quick. Tell them no rice milk at all. Rice causes mucus.
Okay, so rice is another thing that causes mucus, according to
no rice, period.
No rice whatsoever. Are you coming back in?
No soy. For men, no soy.
Are you coming back in?
I'm coming right now.
Okay.
I'm coming home. I'm coming back right. Coming back right now. No soy. No soy. No soy. Especially for boys, young men, babies. High in estrogen. Very high in estrogen. So we want to remove soy. No soy, no soy, no soy, no dairy. So
and no iodine. And I know I shared my story testimony last time, but yeah, no iodine.
Yeah, I'm gonna go over a couple of things. I'm sorry, people. My bad.
It was an important conversation to have. I mean, it's the way that the energy took us.
No white rice. No white rice. And when I say no white rice, that's like when people say they take Himalayan salt. It's salt. Rice is rice, even if it's brown, man. No good. Wheat, no good. Soy's no good also because in its natural form, it's cold and dry. So foods that are cold and dry, it'll pile up in your throat. Yeah, brown rice is rice. I mean, no, Camp, you crazy. She say only do brown rice and sugar. Right. You don't want to do that either. Neither one of them, man. Neither. And
Queen Net, we hope his page is not blocked, but he's accustomed to being blocked and coming back on. So,
Listen, we could go through a whole bunch of this stuff because it's not your diet. It's not your culture. You're going to be like, what am I supposed to eat? None of this. Completely get off of it. But no, we know we can't. We're humans. Some of our parents are amazing in the kitchen. Some of the ladies out here are amazing in the kitchen. So it's hard sometimes to get off. All right, so I'm going to run through a few things. I'm going to show y'all some things. This Himalayan salt. Terrible. It's salt. Don't think because it says Himalayan, it's better for you. This is another salt. Woo! Smoked chili sea salt. It's salt. It's terrible for you.
But you know what? Even when you say Merlene, hey cousin, thanks for joining. In small moderation, salt and sugar show up in so many other ingredients that we don't need to use raw salt, because using the raw salt, you think you don't use it, but you're using it because it shows up in so many other ingredients. And just like sugar has 52 names, salt has a lot of different names in which they hide what it is that we're eating. So you really have to know. And I mean, and it probably makes the grocery shopping list even longer, or the grocery time even longer, because you're thinking that you're picking up items that say live grown, or say organic, or say all of these different things. However, it's not actually authentically true. And then your health and wellness is not accurately being addressed because salt and sugar is hidden everywhere. She said, such as what? Such, you got that?
Show you again. Such as what? What's such as what? I don't.
She had said sugar, like she doesn't use salt at all. So she's like, what's some of those other names, I guess, of salt and how sugar shows up?
Yeah, we got to listen. We got to get back to planting gardens and doing our own thing, man. I know it takes time, but it has to happen. Your life is most important. And if yours isn't, how about your children? How about the young people around you, your nieces and nephews? Like, they can't be on this same hamster wheel that we've been on. If we're going to say we cycle breakers, then we got to break the cycle.
Right.
We really have to break the cycle. We have to go study what's good for us. What removes mucus? Turnips, onions, berries, echinacea, zinc, warm fluids, herbal teas, honey, lemon, basil, eucalyptus, lemongrass. Those are things that can remove what's being clogged up in your respiratory system. But also, listen to this. If you are still going to dabble in the foods that are terrible for you, don't expect the herbs and the good stuff to work for you the way it's supposed to, because you double dutching. We do that. No, you can eat a lot of stuff. You can eat a lot of stuff, but you just been trained that these are the couple items you eat.
And you've been trained to even make that statement too, that we can't eat anything. Like that's what they want you to believe. So then therefore you continue to fuel their pockets and their economy. And they're using our bodies as experiments in every sense of the word. So between the foods that we eat, the things that we drink, like it's across everything that we consume. Technology, shows, everything.
Said, you know, you're not eating right when you're on the toilet too long. But you also know that your system works well after you eat. 20 to 30 minutes later, you should be going to the bathroom because it passed through your system. That's how you know your system is working well. But that food that we eat, it's clogging everything up. It's clogging everything up.
Especially as we going into the holidays. It's certain things that people put on the menu that is not serving of our body, mind, and spirit in the most beneficial way. But we look forward to it because it's the holiday. And it's like, okay, it's the holiday. We need this, that, and the third on the menu. And we pour all these different seasonings on it, which are layered in tons of salt, tons of sodium, tons of sugar, as well as the dairy products. So it's like we just building mucus. And that's the reason why we so weighted down. Like, oh my God, everything was so good, but now I'm ready to go to sleep.
Yeah, Queen April put up a stomach flush. Next week, I'll put up a couple things about what you can do to remove some of the stuff out of your gut.
Right.
I obviously the first half of the show, it was kind of important and people were engaged. Listen, if y'all have topics, man, you want to talk about, you want to address anything that's going on, I mean, shoot us emails, DM us on these social medias. Like, we got to do this together. There's no black woman and there's no black man in this. We in this together.
Mm-hmm.
We can't have y'all saying, but our voice. No, it's both of our voices aren't being heard because the system isn't for us.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the times when we do hear a voice and an opinion, it's from some Negro who ain't for us. I watch sports, so they give us Charles Barkley's and Stephen A. Smith's because they don't stand on nothing morally. They don't care about saying something awful about you. Yeah, Charles Barkley didn't care that he said something awful about Breonna Taylor and the way they came in her house. So those are people that we get. Now, I mean, all our women brought Steve Harvey's book on marriage, and he ain't even good at it. And thinking like a man when you a woman, he's retarded, and we followed that. There's a reason why a lot of these people got platforms. Got the platforms because they ain't gonna speak for you. And so what we need to do is come together 100% and start building with real people who stand on something. Because we doing this for free every week. I'll do it for a long time for free. There's people who ain't gonna open their mouth for free. You know how much game I give out for nothing? All the studying of these books every single day. And it's only to help spread real info about us because I've been at all these schools. I've been around enough white folks, black folks to know that this system is not for you and it's not doing what it's supposed to do for us. And we're not reaping the benefits that we should. I mean, we got long lists of ancestors who've done amazing things in this country and we still struggling.
Right.
And we still struggling. You know what I'm saying? But everybody had dope points, man. I'm just Fletch, man. I ain't perfect, and nobody's saying what I say is even right. But what I do know is I put in the homework. So anything I say to you, I try on myself. I try the herbs. I try it all.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I try it all, man. So because they're going to experiment on us, I'm smart enough to experiment on myself. So from now on, I'm going by Dr. Fletch. Because, you know what I'm saying? They go through their little white schools and tell you they doctors. I put myself through my own school, man. But no, on a serious note, I do it because it's freedom, man. It's freedom to learn more about yourself and know more about who you are and what makes you tick. It's awful when you think what makes you tick is what they giving you.
Right.
No, that ain't what makes us tick. And
just like they say when you go to the church houses and the pastor is saying whatever he's saying, that you're supposed to open up your book and you're supposed to read along and make sure that what he's saying or she's saying is accurate. Go ahead and check the facts of what it is that we share each and every week when we come into you at Chocolate Crown to provide these different conversations, because we're coming to you from resources as well as personal experience, and it's to pour in to build us up as our kings and queens that we are.
Yeah, definitely, man. Listen, and we're gonna start reaching out to a bunch of you beautiful kings and queens out there to start coming on with us, man, so you don't just have to comment. People can actually see your face and hear your voice and put the word, match the words with the face, and you know what I'm saying, and network and make this platform, because like the ladies asked, I don't have all the answers, but I know something's not right.
Right.
I don't have all the answers, but I know something's not right. You know what I'm saying? And when you know something's not right, you start to investigate so you get it right. And I've heard enough cries of young people, old people, people my age, that this system is awful. So if the system awful, we can need to do something about it and change it. And I'm not saying that y'all who want to vote, and because I'll give a quick story. I was teaching in Philadelphia and I had seniors, and seniors were coming up to vote. Some of them were 18. just because I choose to vote or not to vote, I'm not discouraging somebody else if I choose not to vote because of the people that they give me. I'm still going to tell people, no, you don't be like me. Use your joint for your power. This is Fletcher's power. This is Fletcher's power. I'm not using mine to vote for one of these scumbag white men. This is just Fletcher's power. Now, you think I'm wrong because you think that Donald Trump's so bad that Joe Biden is a better choice. I don't think so. I think it's the system. I think it's the system.
Like it's no face to it. It's just the total system.
Yeah, it's faceless. It's definitely faceless. Well, your cousin, what part of America is your cousin in?
He's in Missouri.
Okay.
Yep. I don't want to say the city because I know I don't know the city. I might get it mixed up, but it's Missouri.
Now, and Camp, listen, I do agree with that. Voting is being optimistic. I say it provides hope for people. Yes, just like when Barack Obama was the face. It provides hope for young people that you could possibly be the president. I don't know why you would want to be the president, but some people do have aspirations. And if you're a young melanated child, you should be able to be the president if you want to. You know what I'm saying? Because she stays in Ferguson, so she went through it.
She did.
Yeah, the sister went through it and seen her brother murdered on the street and left in the streets for everybody to witness.
Yeah.
For everybody to walk past and witness another black body in the street. That looked like 1940 again to me.
Right.
1950,
Uncovered.
1930, 1920, 1910. That looked like America to me.
So we have Ohio in the house. We got North Carolina in the house. We got Texas in the house. New Jersey, Pittsburgh. Philly, Pittsburgh. We thank all of you all. We got the DMV in the house. Let me not forget. We thank each and every one of you all. Please. Thank you. Every Sunday at 8 o'clock.
Like I said, I'll probably be reaching out to some of you smart folks, man, in the future, because your opinions and your voice is vital for this. If you think that Biden is better than Trump, then vote, man. Then vote. Please vote, man.
And make sure you know who your local people are who are better.
I can't rightfully vote for somebody who locked up my older friends and my older cousins and my uncles by signing a name to a bill. I can't, no, because the system made my people have to sell drugs to support some families sometimes.
Right.
To put food on the table. You a brother and you got your little brother, your mom strung out on the streets. What you gonna do? But you 15, you 14, your brother's 7, your mom is a crackhead stuck in the streets. What you gonna do? That's the system. If Uncle Fletch, if Queen Camp, Queen April, Queen May, King Swanee, if we was running this and had melanated people who look like us running it, it wouldn't look like this. It wouldn't be like this. Because you got soul. Because even in our oppression, in our oppression, we still love the oppressor. We still love our oppressor.
Because of a trinket and resources and a roof and benefits.
We still love our oppressor. It's sad. It'll, and this is why other people climb the ladder, because they support each other no matter what. Even in they wrong. You see how wrong Donald Trump is? Grab him by the cookie. Imitating people with disabilities, doing all kind of weird stuff, and they still sticking with him. They still sticking with him. Like, we need to come together. That's point blank period, man. We need to come. Yeah, some of us lay next to the oppressor and think it's cool. It's okay. It's okay. But you don't know, like Dr. Wessling said, genetic annihilation. That's why they use you. They use you.
Don't be quiet, can't keep it moving.
They dying. So they gonna use you. You and your black melanin sisters, that white boy, brothers, that white girl. And I got white people I love. You're gonna love who you love, but you gotta understand the enemy is the enemy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The enemy. But we need to love each other, build with each other, come together, start bringing some of these ideas, find some folks with some money, find some investments, and it could start from one house, one row house on one block, or one crib in any city. We all come together with $1,000, $1,500, $2,000, start investing, grab little black kids to start working in the house. Now we started something. That's a start. That's all. That's a start. That's a start. Now you teaching young people how to work for themselves, how to build with other melanated people instead of looking at each other like we enemies. But you looking at them like, oh yeah, that brother's smart right there. We need to bring him in the circle and use his knowledge to build this wealth. And you can build it one brick, like you always say. What's you saying?
Peel back the layers one conversation at a time. Hashtag one conversation at a time.
One at a time. You grab a crib one at a time. Boom. That one crib, pay for the next one. The next one, buy two. Now you got a whole block. That like real estate is power. And we need to start looking around this country where we can start reclaiming it, because a lot of it was taken from our ancestors. A lot of it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of it was taken from our ancestors, man. So
Camp, you say love is a choice, but before we can even get to love, and I mean this is probably a whole nother, show of some sort, we gotta like the circumstances, or we gotta like what is in front of us. And if we don't like it, there's no way that we could develop admiration that's going to look like love.
Yeah, and know who don't like you, not just who you like. Know if they really don't like you. Right. Because sometimes racist folks don't know they racist. Sometimes assholes don't know they assholes.
Right.
Until you put it in their face. And you're like, oh yeah, because you've been raised around certain people your whole life. Some folks back in the day that never even seen black people except for in the minstrel shows on TV.
Right.
So you develop a certain way of thinking of this is how they are. You know what I'm saying? And like that's your narrative. That's not your narrative. That's not your story. Like, yeah, listen. We got to know who the enemy is, because the enemy will smile in your face.
And the enemy can be sitting right at the table with you.
Joe Biden. And the enemy will tell you that he hates you to his face. President Trump. So what is it? What is it? Y'all can vote, but understand, you voting for cancer or AIDS? Which one you want? Gorilla or lion? And I know that hit you because of the pet. That's serious. This is serious stuff. Our life is on the line, man. I love all y'all, man. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate the mess out of y'all, man. I promise I do. I know I've been rambling. They've been cutting me off of the internet. But listen, man, it's just about making us better. You know what I'm saying? And I don't take nothing personal. So if you got something to say, please say it. I hope you don't take nothing personal, because I'm just here to give info. I ain't here to change the way you're thinking. I'm just here to give you an outlet to grab a book to go do your own research. That's all. Instead of just trusting everything that they tell you and that kind of thing, man.
You see Camp said Mufasa?
You want to get eaten by Mufasa, Camp?
She said, like, say it again where he make you shiver, like, ooh.
No, it ain't a nice thing. It's which one you want to be eaten by, a gorilla or Mufasa. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to really look at it like that. Like, they're good at giving us one who says, yeah, I'm for y'all. Ask the people of Delaware. You know what I'm saying? Ask them. So, listen, I love y'all. Kings and Queens. Show number 14. I got chills. It's been dope, man. I appreciate y'all so much, man.
Thank you for joining us another week, another episode. We will be back again with what foods we eat so that we can give you some of the interventions and strategies that we have prepared for this evening's conversation. But we had a great segment. Great segment. So if there's anything, as it was said earlier by Del Rico, that you guys want us to bring to the conversation, this is the Sunday night family dinner conversation. Like what did our kings and queens need to know as we move forward and prepare for our week? Some people acknowledge tomorrow as a holiday and most people don't. However, you function.
Tomorrow?
It's a holiday.
What's tomorrow?
Some people will call it Indigenous Service Day.
Oh shoot, yeah, I'm wilding. Yeah. The 12th. I'm not bad.
And some people will call it this other day too, that he didn't discover anything in America because America was already here.
Yeah, you see my skin? I was here. Going to tell me you came here in 1492. And ain't that when they said?
Something.
Yeah, something like that, man. My people was already here, player. I was already here, player.
I need to give a shout out to Nat, because Nat made something that she posted on Facebook that looked like it was in alignment with the "you are what you eat" on the healthy side of things. I might need you to hit me up with that menu because that looked really, really good.
Yeah, and yeah, I want to say my bad because I forgot today is the 11th. But yeah, Indigenous Peoples Day tomorrow, man. Shout out to the people, man.
Shout
out. I'm saying? Go back and do your own lineage and your own history homework, man. And don't go to Ancestry.com. Please, please. If you vote, you can vote, but don't go to Ancestry.com. They gonna lie about where your people from, man. Please. I love y'all, man.
Y'all be safe. Travel safely. Yeah.
It's very stressful right now. You know what I'm saying? They saying COVID is going crazy again. So take care of your immune system. Heavy turmeric, heavy ginger, heavy garlic, eucalyptus, oranges, vitamin C, the steam towel over your head, steam up your bathroom, open up your pores, do all that kind of stuff, man. I love y'all. Peace.
Peace and love. Y'all stay safe. We'll see you next week.